Albasia, also known as Zev Arkalek. Today we are doing a discussion panel about gaming. We are the Vindicators. I am joined here by my cohorts, Tom, Joanne, and Jolene. Let us begin. Our first question is, what did we learn in weeks 1 through 4 in this class?
Well,
Tom, I'll throw it to you.
I must say that the information that I gathered was that education need not be boring to be effective. I believe that people will learn a great deal when they don't even know that they are learning. That is, if you can create an enjoyable way of learning, the students will beat a path to your classroom door. Do I have any comments on that from my fellow adventurers?
I would like to address that as well. I agree with my compatriots here, and I would like to also say that games address a very important part of education that tends to be overlooked, which is teamwork, critical thinking skills, and problem solving.
So I also agree with that, Joanne. Definitely can tackle problem-solving skills. Also can teach leadership. I actually enjoyed this class a lot. It really opened up some new doors for me. What do you think, Jolene?
As for me, this class has truly opened my eyes. This was quite a challenge because I had no previous exposure to virtual gaming, especially virtual gaming in the classroom. I learned that different games interest different people, and that it's important to try a variety of games to enhance motivation and to keep the interest of a variety of learners.
Tell me, my comrades, what do you think of the games that we experienced in this course?
I quite enjoyed playing D&D with you guys. I thought that I could definitely see some use for that in a classroom. In fact, I based my Create an Adventure off of a D&D style game. I also quite enjoyed Quest Atlantis. I can see where that would be very motivating for students. The thing I liked the best about that was that everything is earned, and I think that would create a lot of motivation for students to accomplish a lot more tasks and get further in the game. I did not, however, enjoy RuneScape. I had nothing but issues. We couldn't find each other, if you recall, compatriots, and that wasted a lot of time. And I found the local chat to be incredibly distracting, and there was a lot of flaming, and if you don't know what that means, just a lot of swearing on the local chat.
Yes. Definitely. I just did not enjoy RuneScape that much. I was there with Tom and Joanne, and we couldn't find each other, and I thought the navigation was very poor. I enjoyed Dungeons & Dragons. It kind of reintroduced me to that game I haven't played since I was a kid. And Quest Atlantis definitely has a lot of value. I could really see this being used in the classroom. And of course, we're in World of Warcraft right now, which I think just is a lot of fun. I'm just not sure if it could be realistically used in the classroom setting.
I have to agree with you there, Al. Joanne, am agreeing with you because I'm having a hard time with that as well. Is where I'm having a really good time and it's really fun, but I don't know how I would convince a principal to allow me to use this in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about you, Jolene?
Well, I enjoyed the character creation for Dungeons & Dragons, but I was actually confused during our role-playing session. I wasn't in on your role-playing session, so I think things got a little mixed up and there were some glitches. So we didn't actually play with the characters we originally created, which kind of confused me. I was not at all impressed with RuneScape. I thought the tutorial was very beneficial, but I had a hard time remembering everything that was covered in the tutorial once I moved into the game, and I lost interest pretty quickly. As far as Quest Atlantis, I can definitely see educational value. I can see how the quests will be valuable, how the quests could be followed and used and even assessed in the classroom and in a classroom setting. As far as World of Warcraft, I'm not real sure about it yet. I'm kind of enjoying it, but I'm still struggling with staying alive and understanding all of the components to the game.
Well, I must say that out of all of the games, I do believe that when playing Dungeons and Dragons, I feel that the students should be grouped in ability levels. What I mean by that is if students are going to be brought into a game such as Dungeons and Dragons, I believe that they should be grouped in ability levels where they understand the game, and all the students that do understand the game and have high levels should be together so that they don't have to wait and waste time with the students that don't understand the game. Younger players should be grouped together so they can learn the game together and have just as much fun, while the advanced levels can have their fun without having to worry about spending time.
Actually, I'm going to sound kind of old school right now because I am old. But after playing these games online, and while they're fun, I really enjoyed playing them using our imaginations and just talking and picturing it in our head instead of having to use a mouse or buttons to move around a world and all that. I kind of have more fun with this role playing game when you're just imagining it actually. So I don't know if that counts for anything.
I believe it does. I agree with you. I think the reading that's involved with Dungeons and Dragons is a very beneficial aspect of the game because then it promotes reading for the children.
How will you change your educational delivery to include gaming? And as my compatriots here know, I am not actually teaching this year, so currently I have no classroom to change my teaching style in. However, I do see the benefit to adding it to a classroom or to a training in adult education. So I'm going to really leave it up to them to discuss. So what do you think, Jolene?
Well, I can see myself using Quest Atlantis in my reading classes. I think assigning specific quests for students based upon comprehension or specific reading skills in general, and once they accomplish those skills, moving on to new quests. I think it will improve their motivation and provide more interest for my particular students. I'm also considering the use of Sims in my career classes, and I realize we didn't do much with Sims, but using Sims, some of the different connections to Sims programs to teach responsibility and understanding life and career goals, somewhat the avenue of entrepreneurship, if you will. What do you think, Tom?
Well, my primary thought to changing my educational delivery to include gaming is to learn how to program so that I can custom create games for my students to include in my personal curriculum. I have programmed in the past with very small and simple types of memory and identification games, but with the sophistication and even the ease of programming today, I would like to create more powerful and detailed games that are directly related to my subject matter.
Well, good point there, Tom. I find it a challenging to include gaming in the classroom. When I was in Dr. Deason's class, I was the person who got gaming for his project, and I did a project based on a existing game called Battleground or Battlefront Europe about World War II. Realistically, I have to say it's very difficult to incorporate an online game in the classroom, at least where I am, because it takes a month to get us into the media center just for a day to use a computer lab because we're such a big school. We have such a high student population. So to play a game like that, you're going to need at least a few days. A free online account, at least getting to play for a few days. And I'm not sure, to be honest with you, if it would be worth sacrificing 3 days of a lesson